The Home Builders Association of Greater New Orleans has promoted, protected, and advanced the construction industry in our area since way back in 1941. Joining me now to discuss how they are looking to protect the individuals whose communities were ravaged by the tornado over the past few weeks is Mr. Marcus Campo of the Home Builders Association of Greater New Orleans and the owner of NOLA Build Construction and Design. Mr. Campo, welcome to Affordable Housing Matters.
Thank you for having me.
Don't have to ask you what you'll be doing for the next several weeks, do we?
No, no. We're hard at it.
I can imagine your hands are full. So where do you begin, and what is the process like when dealing with a significant widespread damage like what we're seeing down in Arabi right now?
So, you know, homeowners should be looking to get in contact with a qualified professional. The HBA has a website with a member directory at HBAGNO.org where they can reach out and find the contact information for someone. You know, when you find a qualified professional, they'll kind of help you walk through the process. Most of these contractors are going to want you to sign a contract with them, which is what you should want as well, but it should be detailed and describing the scope of work that's going to be performed to your home. They also may require a deposit to have you scheduled, which is normal.
So that is normal.
Yeah, you just don't want to, you want to make sure you're not paying beyond what work's been done or paying in full before the work's complete.
So how difficult is that likely to be in light of the fact that I'm still seeing tarps on roofs after Hurricane Ida?
It's going to be very difficult. You know, there's labor shortages, material shortages, you know, and to get through the process, you really just want to find, you know, a professional who can help you with it.
And do you guys have a list of professionals that people can use as a reference?
Absolutely, yeah. That would be on our website at the HBAGNO.org.
How does that work? Are these people that have been vetted by you?
Yes. So, you know, most of our members are involved in the community, are going extra step to make sure they're in an organization like the HBA that promotes quality business practices and advanced building procedures and things that you would want, you know, as an asset going through your own home rebuilding process.
So what would you tell me as a resident with a house that was badly damaged or just destroyed during the cleanup process? What should I be doing? Is there any particular method I should be practicing?
I think safety is important, you know, being aware of your surroundings and damages to your home or nearby structures, making sure you're wearing protective clothing, eyewear, gloves, masks, for dust and debris and mold, if spores and stuff you may come in contact with. But also, you should try to reach out to a professional again once before, as soon as possible, so they can help you to make sure that you're walking into a safe situation and doing things properly. You probably would want to take photos immediately of any damages and remove any items, contents that were damaged, kind of start taking a list of those items to let your insurance company know what losses you've had as well.
But in a situation, Mr. Campo, like where a house is just gone, you walk and there's nothing left, you know, but the slab.
Right.
I mean, do you anticipate any problems from the insurance company in a situation like that? Well, you take a picture and says, okay,
right.
What's your damage? This is my damage.
Well, luckily, you know, in a way, those people will probably have the least issues with it, dealing with the insurance carrier going forward. It becomes a little more convoluted when you're dealing with a structure that's partially damaged or or showing damages that are hard to determine without someone like maybe even a structural engineer coming to the property to assess certain damages.
So I dealt with a structural engineer during Hurricane Katrina. So is that advisable if in a situation like that for you to reach out to a structural engineer so you can have the documentation you need to negotiate with the insurance company?
There's a protocol as far as with the carrier of someone they may get out there, but you also want someone kind of on your side as well to make sure
you need an advocate.
Right, to watch your own back.
Yeah, there's an old saying, don't go into that dark room without ammunition, and don't attempt to negotiate with an insurance company without the proper ammunition.
100%.
We all learned that from personal experience during Hurricane Katrina. We've been talking about the things from the residential side. What about from your vantage point, the home builders side? What kind of challenges are home builders up against in a situation like this?
We have to coordinate with local government as far as cleanup response, utility companies for repairing and having the network re-energized as far as electrical. So some of the homes that we've come into contact with for some of our clients, we had to make some quick repairs so that they could get power back and water and all of those needed utilities. But just coordinating those efforts with all of the right people, and then once again dealing with material and labor shortages that are already existent for the last couple of years in our area.
Parish President Guy McGinnis was on the show before you, and he was talking about the desire to keep the residents inside St. Bernard Parish, and he said he talked to you about some special program that the Home Builders Association had established towards that end.
Yeah. So
can you share that with us?
Yeah, so on April the 7th, we're going to be at Nunez Community College in our community, and we will have an event there where contractors will be. Residents of St. Bernard can come and speak with these contractors and maybe get some good advice. We're also going to have Councilman McCluskey from that district that was damaged, as well as Mr. Merritt Landry, who is with the permitting office. They're kind of helping to direct people as well.
Now, I know the situation right now where people are willing to help, they're willing to take in their relatives, but there comes a time when you get tired of your sister-in-law.
Right.
Your uncle starts getting on your nerve.
Absolutely.
So what kind of help can you offer? You offer people in situations like that, Mr. Campo?
Well, in St. Bernard, I believe they're looking into some additional housing availability, and then most insurance policies, you will have an ALE involved with your policy, to where that should give the homeowner additional living expenses to use while their home's being repaired or while they're waiting for it to be repaired.
Do you anticipate any supply chain issues? Because I know, like, for little simple jobs, like I'm trying to redo a deck.
Right.
Like people saying, okay, well, we don't have that kind of access to supply right now.
Right.
So are we looking at a very lengthy process?
Yeah, I mean, most likely, most of the work, repair work, I think can probably be done and get it to a point at least. It's just they're probably not looking at being 100% put back together within a short period of time due to those challenges. We waiting 6 months or more for windows, doors, and all types of aspects and materials in building right now are just unavailable or have delivery times where we're not even given an actual date
Wow.
So it's just open-ended of we'll get it to you when it becomes available.
So I might have to just live with sister-in-law for a while.
Yeah, get comfy.
Get comfortable with Uncle Joe.
Right. But we'll, if you find someone to help you through the process that knows it, it will help speeding up the process.
I looked at the range of damage to the structures, and a lot of them were just torn apart and left like matchsticks.
Right.
Is there some kind of building code that can be introduced where houses can be constructed to withstand the winds and the force from tornadoes?
Yeah, there's many of different building practices for homes, especially these days. A lot of new technology and materials have been developed for those instances. There may not necessarily be a requirement of a code at this point in our state. So, and building up to code is what's suggested, but you can always take an extra step into looking into those practices, those advanced building practices.
Is that something that you would advise going forward? I mean, when it's
sure, it could definitely help in these types of situations and others. Another challenge right now is the cost of building materials. So, just to build back at normal, requirements can be very, very costly at these times, and you add additional requirements for a home, and it usually introduces new additional costs as well.
So we're going to be looking at this several months down the road, if not a year or
for some
a couple
people,
of years,
probably.
Yeah. So what do I do in the meantime, Mr. Campo?
As far as a resident, I think you just need to have a conversation with your family and decide, how best you can suit yourselves moving forward. Some people may have family, like you spoke of, to stay with, and some will have to find additional living facilities for the time being, unfortunately.
Mm-hmm. Are there enough home builders? Do we have enough home builders in the area?
I believe we have enough home builders. I know quite a few, but many of them were already stressed from these past storm events. So, getting with one as quickly as possible is what's going to benefit you the most right now. Making sure they are knowledgeable and experienced in our region as well is important,
Well, thank you for joining us, and I'm sure your information has been very helpful to those viewers who are watching, who might be in the situation that we've been discussing, and good luck to you.
Thank you, sir.
And you're going to be under the microscope,
Yeah.
All right. Good luck with that.
Absolutely.
All right.